Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the Knife Center, and it is, of course, our favorite time of the week, because it's Thursday, and the coolest new knives that have just hit the shelves are right here in front of me. It may not be Thursday when you're watching this, but it is when we're posting it anyway. Let's get into it. All right, first up this week are some new American-made knives from Kershaw, a couple imported knives from Kershaw too, and some new ZT, two new ZT models in fact, but we're gonna start with the Kershaw, the USA-made Bel Air. Newest version of this has just hit, and it is upgraded a bit from the aluminum versions. The blade steel's the same, you still got MagnaCut here, but it is the first non-black bladed version of the Bel Air's blade that we've seen so far. Blade. I can say, how many more times can I say blade? Shall we count?
Fresh blade of Bel Air.
Shall we count the blades? Yeah, the fresh blade. Anyway, same MagnaCut steel, which is good because it is very tough, and that's great on a thin blade like this that is going to slice really well. It gives it a little bit of extra strength, and of course it's stainless and it holds an edge quite well. And then the handle scales have been upgraded to this marbled carbon fiber as well. Weight-wise, you know, I actually don't know if it's any lighter than the aluminum versions, but aluminum's already pretty light, so it should be more or less the same in any case. But blade just over 3 inches long, nice and slicey as mentioned, nice piercing tip on it. And then that, like I said, that full flat grind is gonna do wonders for just everyday basic cutting. Nice and slim in the pockets, very deep carry clip. It does stick out the back as you can see, so it's gonna nest nice and unseen while it is in your pocket, except for the clip, of course. And it is reversible to go along with all the other ambidextrous controls on this knife, including that nice crossbar lock running on KVT bearings. Just nice, snickety action right there. Fantastic EDC. Price on this, $195, so it's a little bit of a jump up from the $150 versions. If you want to spend a little bit less, those versions are still available with the aluminum handle scales. We've also got a blacked out version of the Mini Iridium joining the Mini Iridium lineup. $65 for this one. You've got a 3-inch D2 blade, offering very good edge retention in this price range for sure, and this very cool kind of leaf-shaped drop point blade. The grind is flat, not super high, but you do have this very deep swedge running along it, giving it a cool look and some efficiencies as you move around curved cuts especially. Aluminum handles here. Deep carry, not deep carry pocket clip, folded over deep carry clip, however. I said deep carry again.
Shallow end of clip pool.
What are you gonna do there? Folded over clip, pocketed into the handles themselves with flush head screws, offering that nice seamless in and out action that folks do love. It is a reversible clip as well. As you can see, you've got the milled out pocket there on the front side. And then the action on this imported knife is still quite good. It's the same basic specs really as you get on the Bel Air, just all at a lower price point and not quite as high performance of a steel, of course, as well. But it's a pretty good bargain for what you're getting here, and alongside the kind of sky blue, ice blue version, you've got two very different personalities between the two variants of this knife that are currently available. Next up, we have got, I love this name actually. This is a really righteous name for a knife. This is the Dawnstar. Very cool. This is a very affordable knife too. This is coming in at $35 right now. Specs, it's not going to be any kind of super steels, obviously at that price point, but for what you're getting here, 3.5-inch blade, it's not that bad. HCR series steel, so basic but dependable stuff. Nice aggressive hawkbill shape here with a hollow grind. Very sharp, very acute tip as well. It's got that kind of karambit vibe to it without actually being a karambit. There's no ring there at the back, obviously. But if you're looking for an actual hawkbill blade to do some everyday cutting, or for most folks, it might not be an everyday cutter, but if you're looking for an aggressive cutter, this will certainly fit the bill. The hawkbill, of course, really great moving through fibrous materials or anything, anything fibrous basically. Rope especially, clothing, fabrics, that sort of thing. It's also really good moving through cardboard because the tip, the way it angles down, is very unlikely to just slip out of a cut. So you're able to keep cutting effectively and keep your stroke going as you move through those materials. And there's not a lot of, honestly, affordable hawkbill bladed knives that fill that kind of role that aren't karambits. And even those don't offer quite this much blade length as well, especially for this $35 price point, which is pretty good. Folded over deep carry pocket clip. It is not inset, but you do have flush head screws right there. Nice molded, injection molded material. GFN in this case gives a pretty comfortable feel in the hand. It's not just flat. You've got a nice shape to it and plenty of traction. And then of course, if you wanted to hold it in a reverse grip, that's going to work quite well too, because you do have a full 4-finger grip on this knife, or at least I do with my slightly larger than average hands. I should mention this is an assisted opening knife, as is typical of a lot of Kershaw's very affordable stuff. So you've got nice repeatable flipping action. Speaking of springs, see what I did there? Let's spring into some zero tolerance. See what I did there? He sees, but he's not laughing.
Waiting for the flip.
So tired of my shenanigans. No, the flipping is done for now. At least when it comes to the Kershaw ZT stuff. The first is the 556, a ZT Auto. Coming in at $360 for this. You've got a titanium handle with carbon fiber inlays and a MagnaCut drop point blade, about 3.35 inches in length. And it's almost that straight clip type of styling, but there is a hint of curvature to this spine here. So it is a drop point. High flat grind, nice and thin, MagnaCut steel again. This is a very gentlemanly, very slicey automatic knife. It should work quite well in any kinds of gents knife rolls or any kind of EDC where you just need a pocket knife. You know, this is not an aggressive tactical thing or even like a hard abusable knife, but it is going to work quite nicely for your basic stuff for sure. The inlays actually have a bit of texture to them. I'm not quite sure if I'm a fan of it, quite honestly, but they're fine. You know, it's just some carbon fiber, quite honestly. And there you go. You can see it right there. Deep carry clip, nice and slim, as you can see, and very deep carry. It's mounted internally, so it sticks out past the tail just a little bit, kind of like the Bel Air, but with this, you don't have to worry about any type of screw or snag or anything like that, being as it is mounted on the inside, and it is reversible in this case as well. You got a nice broad button with some, we'll call them serrations on there for texture. And the action is very nice. Very precise feeling. It's not a wrist snapping action, but feels very good. Kershaw, of course, has been building their launch series for quite a while, so they've got the expertise on these side opening automatics, and now seeing it in a more premium guise, like you have here on the ZT, is pretty cool. And I like the shape as well. Very nice. Now next up, perhaps in keeping with more of ZT's kind of older styling or older mission statement, we've got a harder use knife here and another fixed blade back in the lineup. Or I shouldn't say back in the lineup, but another fixed blade in the lineup. This is the 004, coming in $280. Blade is a little over 4 inches long, about 4 1/4, and you've got crew wear blade steel, so very tough stuff. Not a stain resistant steel, however, so that's why you have the Cerakote finish on the blade. Keeps rust at bay, and with that slightly brown or coppery brown text or color, goes really nicely with these natural canvas micarta handles as well. And those handles feel really good, quite honestly. They're contoured nicely. You can see we've got a nice sophisticated shape right here. It's not just flat slabs rounded over on the edges. There is an actual considered shape going on, which is quite nice. Should fit most average to larger sized handed folks pretty well and support some really strong grips doing that outdoorsy stuff. I wouldn't say it's primarily a tactical knife, although there's enough of a finger guard there where it could be a more compact tactical option for some folks. But I see this being a really cool outdoorsman's type of knife for sure. You've got a finger choil there out at the front where you can get up, get some closer, finer control over the back of that edge. Straight clip point to the profile. Interesting thing is this little divot right here. You might think, or at least I did when I looked at it, I was like, I wonder if that's going to get in the way. And honestly, for me, in a standard grip here, my finger or thumb tip obviously is sitting up there a little bit, and it feels comfortable on the ramp or dipped into that. And then when I go to choke up, I'm actually clearing that whole space. So it's not quite as much of an ergonomic impediment as I thought it was going to be. Last but not least, check out the attachments right there. Pass through, so you can do lashing stuff like spear type stuff if you want to. And those are removable with a hex driver. Not sure what size they are, it doesn't say on our site right now, but it should be pretty standard size in any case. The sheath is leather, but it's built like Kydex. What I mean by that is you've got stitching all the way around with evenly spaced rivets and a removable backer here that provides the belt loop. So you could take this off if you want. You could throw a tech lock on this, no problem. The actual retention strap here on the front remains with the rest of the sheath. You can just take the belt loop off and you would be able to carry this horizontally if you wish because of that, which is cool. Now, speaking of hard use fixed blades, let's go to one of the icons of the genre. The BK2 has received an update, or at least they have released a new version of this. The made by K-Bar Becker BK-82 has the same cool dimensions as the BK2, but you may notice that this is not a black blade. This is a stonewashed blade finish. That is because this is a MagnaCut Becker. So you've got the high performance wonder steel of today in the MagnaCut on an old trusty, stalwart of the hard use indestructible fixed blade camp knife survival knife category in the BK2, coming in to about $245 for this. You've got the standard handle scales on here that are injection molded and the standard injection molded sheath right there, which is quite effective and quite useful. And it's all the upgrade is going towards that steel right there. It still maintains that beefy 1/4 inch thick nature to it. You've got a saber height flat grind right there, so this is definitely not a slicing efficient knife. That is not what its reason for being is. Its reason for being is if you need to break something, you can probably break it with this knife. We never like to recommend prying with a knife, but if you had to, this is the type of knife you're gonna want to have on your side because it will do that certainly quite well and then handle well enough the rest of the stuff you might need in an outdoor camping or survival situation. In fact, the name of this knife, apart from the BK2, is the Companion. So there you go, that kind of tells you the mission for sure. And looks like stainless hardware as well. So in addition to the stainless blade, they've upgraded the hardware to some stainless options there, since usually on the standard 1095 versions of this knife, the hardware is not stainless. There you go. Get you some. As far as I know, actually I'm not sure if this is limited or not. I think it might be. But as of right now, I know we can get some more once what we have on the shelf runs out, at least at this point in time. But you may not want to wait too long if you are interested in that. Another couple of things you shouldn't wait too long on if you want either. A couple of Spyderco sprint runs. The plain edge version of the Temperance is back, the fixed blade Temperance. $142.50 for this with a 4.5 inch crew wear blade. So again, nice and tough. We talked about that with the ZT right here. Unlike that ZT, however, the Temperance here is non-coated. So keep it clean, keep it oiled if you don't want patina or rust to form after hard use. And you could certainly hard use this knife too. The thickness there looks little more than 5/32 of an inch right there back at the handle side of the spine, but because of Spyderco's blade shape, it's tapering continually towards the tip. You get that distal nature to the blade, so it's more and more efficient kind of as you head out towards the tip, culminating, of course, in a very acute tip. Pretty decent all-around design, camping, outdoor, utility, larger side for everyday carry, but you could do it, and of course, tactical uses as well. This is definitely aesthetically maybe not that blacked out, tacked out look, but it's got the chops to do that sort of thing. The handle is very nice. You've got 4 dimples on each side for your fingertips to find, although my fingertips crowd things a little bit. Works a little bit better in that reverse grip, as you can see. And you've got another thing helping with that reverse grip there, that kind of dished out section at the back. Good place for one's thumb to sit. There you go. Check out the sheath. Here it is. It is, I think, Bolter-on. Yep, feels like Bolter-on, and it is indeed. And you've got the Spyderco G clip there on the back, so you can use that for attachment. We've also got a sprint run. I believe the first sprint run that's available has been available of the Military 2. Comment section, correct me if I'm wrong on that. $294 for this. You get carbon fiber for the handles, bringing the weight down a little bit from the G10, and S90V for the blade, offering a big step up in edge retention from the standard S30V versions. And apart from that, it is the new military design, the Military 2. 4-inch blade, full flat grind on it, slightly thicker to start, but again, distally tapering all the way towards the tip. You've got a 4-position pocket clip, so you can carry it any which way you like. You've got the finger choil, which the original Military does not have, which allows you to get up there for the finer control, as mentioned earlier on some other knives too. And the compression lock versus the liner or frame locking versions that have been available with the standard Military up to this point. So you get that wrist flicky action, you get that finger safe closing action. I didn't want to like swing it too hard and have it bounce back on me, but there you go. Check this one out too. Great larger everyday carry. Doesn't carry in pocket as big as you might think with the 4-inch blade. It's not a small knife, but it's pretty manageable, I think, inside the pocket. Next up, not a sprint run, but new to the bigger Spyderco knife lineup. This is the Native Chief with the Spy 27 blade steel. That is a proprietary steel to Spyderco, developed with Crucible, the same folks who make MagnaCut and S30V and all those others. And the way this lives performance-wise, it should be roughly in a similar ballpark to stuff like your S45 VNs and so on and so forth, but it's supposed to strop and sharpen a little more easily than those. It's a pretty nice steel overall. And you've got the blue G10. A lot of their Spy 27 family has been carrying this blue coloration, this blue aesthetic. Blade just over 4 inches long. Same story as the other Spydercos so far. A little bit thinner to start, but still tapering all the way towards the tip with the full flat grind. You've also got a 4-position pocket clip here and the finger choil. And instead of something like the compression lock, you've got a conventionally operated mid-mounted back lock right there. Still a completely ambidextrous experience on this knife, and still easy enough to manage, I'd say, in the pocket when it's in there. There you go. Next up, we've got a few new Leatherman Skeletools joining the lineup, the Skeletool CX model, both featuring the upgraded 154 cm blade steel that is available on some of the variants. Plain edged, this is the one I would pick with that steel and that blade geometry. I think that's a really nice thing. About just under $90 for this American-made multi-tool with that American-made steel as well. Blade length on these, what is the blade length on these, Thomas? You used to carry one of these quite regularly.
Doesn't mean I measured it.
Just over 2.5 inches long. It's a good daily pocket knife blade. Not too big, obviously, because this is a multi-tool, but you do have one-hand opening and liner lock safety built into that blade, which is always appreciated. Now this comes with a pocket clip and no sheath. So if you wanted a sheath, you'd have to pick one up extra. Just as it is, it's gonna sit in your pocket like any other regular pocket knife. But it is of course not a regular pocket knife because it is a multi-tool. You've got your plier jaws here with the wire cutters and the needle nose and regular jawed pliers all in one unit. You've got Leatherman's flat bit system here on the end. Comes with a number 1 and number 2 Phillips installed in it, and space, where is it in the frame? Sorry, as I really flail this around the camera here.
Great television.
Space in the frame for one more of aforementioned flat bits. This one comes with 2 flathead heads on it. Rather inventive in my language today. But it's a pretty well considered basic multi-tool set of implements. I should mention also cap lifting capabilities built into the carabiner as well. So comes with a decent amount of stuff for the size. This is a decent everyday carry pocket knife replacement if you want the extra multi-tool stuff, because it is pocketable with The pocket clip there, because you've got slightly upgraded steel and the benefit of one-hand opening and locking. If you don't want to spring for something like the Arc with its MagnaCut blade and more bulk too, you could go with something like this. I like this this green and black one a lot, actually. I think it's a pretty snazzy looking combo. Next up, we've had like the Kershaw stuff has been fairly affordable so far, but let's get to some more budget realm stuff with Bestech's Bestechman brand, or Bestechman. Why do they have to make a new brand? I'm not in charge over there. Just call it Bestech, it's fine. You can find them on the site if you search Bestech. You don't have to search Bestechman. This is the Velix, an O-stop Hell design, coming in just under $60. We got a 3 3/8 inch thereabouts blade of 14C28N with a button lock and G10 for the handles. Several different colors / flavors are available. I really like this one here with that kind of desert tan, almost coppery blade coating going on. And that is a PVD coating on these. The green G10 looks nice. You've got a hint of metallic green on the thumb studs there. Deep carry pocket clip, pocketed and flush screwed in with reversibility, which is good because, of course, button locks work well right or left-handed. And you've got the thumb studs in dual fashion to support right or left-handed use as well. Length in the hand, it'll fill my slightly larger than average hands pretty well. And then you've got this cool narrow-styled drop point blade, great EDC shape with a high flat grind, or full flat grind technically, and a long swedge. O-stop, I think, always does a pretty good job, in my opinion, on his shapes. I think they're elegant. I think this is further proof positive of that right there, right here. If you don't agree with me, fight me in the comments. Or not. It's not worth getting in a fight over, really. Actually, let me skip over this next one and I'll come back to it. Because there's another O-stop Hell design. The Dundee. This is the full-size Sheepsfoot blade version. New versions of this have hit the site with D2 steel. About $46 with that 3.5 inch blade. Liner lock inset, which is quite nice. G10 handles. Several flavors are available in addition to the Arctic Berry Blast of this one. Is that what we're gonna go with today?
It's a Gatorade flavor that's like cherry.
It's like Ice 9 or something. No, it's not Ice 9, don't worry about that. We have a reversible clip, pocketed with flush head screws. Not quite deep carry, but pretty narrow actually. But there you can see it there, and it is reversible as mentioned. Let's check out the action. You've got ball bearings in the pivot, which work quite nicely. And because of this blade shape, more of the fuller is available than on the, or is visible when the blade is closed than on the clip point versions. Let's see. I haven't tried this yet. Let's see if I can reverse flick it as a result. Apparently not. I cannot do it anyway. The coating might make, on this one, might make things a little slicker. I don't know. It's a good option for two-hand opening in any case. And you can do the one-hand opening with the thumb, or the pinch and the thumb completion, as you can see right there. But really cool, stronger feeling blade shape. Big heavy cuts are going to work nicely on this, and it's not so out of bounds that this would just be a good, you know, generic purpose EDC knife blade shape as well. But the clip point is also available if you prefer that. Next up, we've got new versions, or a new line extension to the Goodboy series from Bestech, the Goodboy Jr. And this is a phenomenal, you know, everyday carry format, in my opinion. It's something I could recommend to almost anyone, provided you don't mind working with D2 steel, which is of course just a semi-stainless option right there. $49.90, just under $50 for these. You've got a 3-inch blade. Really great drop point shape. I love the full flat grind. It's actually compound ground. As you can see, you've got a more stout flat grind out there near the tip, and a really nice touch, the crown spine with the jimping that you see right there. It's almost a more luxury touch overall. This is a button lock. You've got a reversible clip inset with flush mounted screws. You've got pretty decent button lock action. The thumb studs work great as well. This is the black G10 with blue thumb studs option, but there are a few different ones that you could pick from if that is not your style. Overall, just feels really good. Nice handle shape that's going to work, I think, for a lot of different folks. It's got enough neutrality that bigger-handed folks are going to have not too much problem with this either. And it's going to carry nice and compact. A lot of knife there. Good design for that $50 price point, for sure. All right, let's move on to some of the more premium Bestech offerings we've got today. The first is, if I can find it again, where'd it go? The VK-Navi. $264 for this. You got a 3.3-inch blade, MagnaCut steel, fuller, and a copper kind of inlay in the blade itself there, a little copper disc that you can see. Overall blade shape, I'd say, is a Wharncliffe with a blackened stone-washed finish. Handle is titanium. You've got a milled titanium clip there on the back, internal screws on that, so it's nice and clean. You've got the frame lock as mentioned. Let's check out the action. I can reverse flick this one, which is quite nice. The blade itself sits nicely in the hand. The tip points forward just a little bit, which is nice because you check out those angles right there. You're going to be able to use that tip quite effectively, especially on a surface if you're scoring or doing any of that sort of thing. That's going to work quite well. This is a front flipper too. I have not tried to front flip it yet. Every now and then I think I'm getting better at front flippers, and then something like that happens and I'm actually not.
Well, if David can barely do it, y'all probably can do it fine.
I like the index finger flick with the off of the fuller there a lot more. That's a lot more my speed. Standard slow roll thumb opening also works quite nicely. Does this have a designer attached to it? This is a Vulpex Knives design. There you go. Now, everything on these higher end Bestechs honestly feels very, very well put together. I have no complaints whatsoever. They certainly feel at least as premium as their prices are. $254 for this knife, the Clastic right here. 3.6-inch blade, MagnaCut steel again. Oh boy, have you been waiting for me to get to this one?
Yeah.
What would you call this blade shape, Thomas?
A reverse tanto.
You know what? It's called a modified reverse tanto, according to our website.
Well, I'm gonna have to have a talk with them.
A little bit of shades of your ZT55 over there in a little bit, without the compound grinds though. Anyway, flat ground blade, harpooned swedge there at the back as well. Titanium for the handles, hint of contour to it, not just a flat slab. Said that about a few things today, haven't I? Sure, we'll let it slide. Right. Frame lock on this knife. Let me see some here. Yeah, what I really like, something you see not too often, but there's some nice examples out there. This is one of those that has a really, really fine cut for that frame locking bar itself. Not a lot of waste material there, and just carries the feel of precision through to the final product. Got a full length handle there for sure. Got a little bit extra sticking out the back, even for my slightly larger than average hands. I think I've only said that 3 times today, so apologies all around. Yes, this is a blade shape that's going to get some work done, but it's a little bit about style too, for sure. But yeah, he's nice. Other flavors are available. I've said that a lot today too. Maybe I should get some new lines. Give you some, make your job more interesting.
I just fill in the blank.
Last but not least from the Bestech lineup, this is the combo designed Prydwen from Bestech. $306 for this one, again with MagnaCut steel, almost 3.7 inches on this one, and they call it a sheepsfoot blade on the website. It's a little bit more of a modified lamb's foot if I'm going to split hairs, and I'm up here, I'm the one up here talking, so I guess I can if I want to. It's fine, I'll let it go. Lot of extra detailing on this knife, a little bit more ornate, a little bit more sculpted perhaps, might be a good word for it. And that makes sense considering the designer here. This kind of carries some of his fingerprints all over it. Not technically, it's not actually touching all of the blades, but hey. Titanium for the handles. This one also has a dark matter fat carbon inlay on the front and the back side. Got that inner mounted milled pocket clip right there. Frame lock with nice, fine, tight lockup. And you can't even see the cutout for the lock bar here because it's covered up by the inlay. Nice little trick right there. And one thing you will have to watch out for on this knife is unlocking is a bit of a deliberate affair here. It's kind of the same thing you have happen sometimes with some frame locks. If you're putting pressure on the lock bar when you go to flick the thumb studs, it can sometimes be difficult to open. I'm finding that I have to make sure I'm not putting any pressure on the lock bar when I go to unlock this knife, or else it kind of sticks on me just a little bit. So keep that in mind. Action on this knife, you've got ambidextrous thumb disc here at the top, a very, again, ornately detailed thumb disc. And it does work pretty well. Let's see, you've got, you can do the reverse flick with that quite nicely, just don't cut yourself. And you've also got a front flipper. So here we go. Place your bets now. Haven't tried it yet. Doing it first time on camera. Put in the comments right now whether I succeed or fail.
Don't look ahead.
That one was fine. Yay! Check them out. Next up, we got a big batch of ProTechs in recently, and we've got a bunch of cool Malibus actually. The first here, this is an anniversary edition. This bears the since 1999 engraving here on the back of its bronzed aluminum handles. Lots of cool, intricate patterning going on as well. And this is a finish on this handle that will patina over time as well. So it's gonna be very, very cool if you actually use this and carry it day to day. Mosaic button there for the button lock, MagnaCut blade, DLC black finish with the reverse Tonto shape. Action, didn't close all the way the first time, so I missed the detent on that last flip. Action, of course, is quite good. I mean, it's the Malibu. It's still one of those flippers that, you know, button lock flippers that kind of defined the modern era for that. I do think, however, actually the standard aluminum versions, or at least between these two, flips even better than the bronzed version right there. That bronze version is coming in at $500 or with all that extra stuff going on. This is a bit more basic, coming in at $260. You do have some texture over the standard smooth handled versions of this, but you've also got MagnaCut steel, 3.3 inches on that blade length and a stone washed finish here. Red goes really nicely with that, and then a matte finish on the deep carry pocket clip. All in all, still proving why this knife is a classic and an icon in the genre. Check them out while supplies last in this case. Next up, we've got a knife from Defiant 7, designed by a designer that also works with ProTech, that being Les George. This is the Valmara Auto, coming in $285. You got a 3¼ inch CPM 154 blade with that cool stone washed finish. I haven't mentioned it today, actually. Why I like stone washed finishes so much is because as you use them, scratches tend to kind of get lost in the random scratch pattern that finish already comes with. So if you don't, if you worry about using your knife and you got ugly scratches on it, they're not going to be as evident on it as they would on a finish like this. So that's always a cool thing in my opinion. The aluminum handles are really, really neatly sculpted. I don't know what other way to describe that. I just like what's going on there quite nicely. It feels refined. It feels a little bit special. You've got a standard pocket clip here, kind of this standard 3-hole pattern it looks like. So there should be a lot of aftermarket stuff if you'd rather swap out something different. And let's check out the action, shall we? It feels good. It feels very good, actually. There you go. Very cool knife. Definitely carries that distinctive Les George styling. If you knew his stuff before I even mentioned the designer, you probably were able to pick that out pretty evidently with this knife right here. Cool design, cool EDC if you're able to take an auto with you where you happen to reside. And last but certainly not least, we have the RMJ Pathfinder Tomahawk. This probably could have sat right there next to the Becker from earlier, because RMJ Tomahawks are equally as renowned for their kind of like bulletproof, bomb-proof construction going on, and that is still the case right here. Made in the US, $515. You've got G10 for the handles, newly upgraded anodized hardware for the attachment on these. The steel is 80 CRV2, which is an Austrian steel, if I'm remembering correctly. I should really get better about remembering some of those smaller details sometimes, I guess. Have I ever told you there's a lot of different steels and specs out there in the knife universe that I have to keep in my head all the time?
It's not like there's a laptop next to you.
Yeah, but that takes time, and I guess we're not live, so. Thomas gets annoyed when I stop to look things up though, so really this is his fault. you,
Just a lack of preparation.
you
on your
viewers
part.
out there. Yeah, let's go with that then. Back to the Tomahawk. It's a more compact design in their lineup. It's just under 12 inches overall. Thickness on that is about 1/4 of an inch. So again, nice and thick, similarly to that Becker from before. Kind of similar dimensions there, but of course not MagnaCut steel. Now, if you were like me and you're looking at this overall profile, you might think, oh, that'd be a cool, like almost like a camping hatchet. But I think it's definitely more focused on the offensive tactical side of things, because there's way more sharpened edges than I would want here on my camping hatchet. First and foremost, right here on the underside of the beard, which means if you wanted to get up and choke up and use this in a impromptu carving type fashion, you're gonna have a sharp edge right there. I don't like that. And you've also got a sharpened spike here at the back. I don't like that either, at least not for a camping hatchet. For a tactical hatchet, all bets are off. More sharp is more good, as far as I'm concerned, in my classically untrained tactical body right here.
Caveats in the mail.
Caveats in the mail. But it is very comfortable. I think it's going to swing quite powerfully for a compact axe like this. And in typical RMJ fashion, very high quality leather sheath or mask right here. Comes with a single strap with a pull the dot snap, so it only unsnaps if you pull it in the right direction. And there's a lot of extra holes going on. Let's check and see if those are compatible with tech locks. Yes, they are. So you could rig this up with a tech lock clip if you wish as well. So that is pretty cool. Well, that's all we've got time for today, folks. Let me know what you thought of the knives in the comments. And of course, to get your hands on any of them, check out the links in the description, which will take you to KnifeCenter.com. While you're there, don't forget about our newly available Sezzle payment option, so you can split up your payments if you wish. And also don't forget about our long-running Knife Rewards program, so you can earn some free money towards a future knife. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. That's Thomas behind the camera, and we are signing off. See you next time.